Hello everybody, I'm Riodroid, and today I am back with the Countdown to Smash, and for this episode, I will be continuing to go over every single stage in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Let's continue. 75M is based on the Donkey Kong arcade game. It has a couple of stage hazards, mainly the Donkey Kong. When he moves to the foreground, he does damage if you touch him. He also starts throwing springs from the top left of the screen. Mario Bros. Is based on the arcade game with the same name. It even plays the same. Hanabo, and this took a little bit of research, is based on the Nintendo DS game Electroplankton. The stage is also the name of the fishy creatures, and the goal of the game is to let them bounce on all the leaves to make the flower bloom. Pretty much that one event that I failed. Green Hill Zone has a few stage hazards. The middle of the stage, the bottom of the slope, is separated into 3 parts that can fall if enough damage is done to them. I've also seen them randomly fall on their own, so not sure on that. There is also a checkpoint that occasionally appears. If a fighter hits it, it'll turn red and spins around for a little while, dealing damage to everyone but who hit it. Now we're on to the 3DS stages, of which I know nothing, so I have to do a lot of research. 3D Land is a traveling stage that cycles through the castle, valley, downhill, and water area, ending in a warp pipe that restarts the cycle. Golden Plains has a very interesting stage mechanic. By collecting 100 coins, a fighter can become a golden fighter. This temporarily increases their attack and defense. Paper Mario is similar to Castle Siege, in that it switches between 3 variants. Hither Tither Hill from Sticker Star, SS Flavio from the Thousand Years Door, and Bowser Sky Castle, also from Sticker Star. Gerudo Valley. The bridge can be destroyed by attacking it, similar to the center of Green Hill Zone. This gives access to the chasm beneath. It will repair itself after a little while when the Song of Time can be heard. Also, the Elemental Witches, Kutake, and what was the other one? Fly down and attack the stage with fire and ice. Spirit Train is a traveling stage. Just kidding. Well, the train travels. The last card at the back of the train can be replaced during the match. There are 5 different cards that can be replaced with: Basic, Broken, Multi-Platform, Cool, or House. Dreamland Game Boy is a scrolling stage, taking place on 5 original stages from Kirby's Dream Land. These are Green Greens, Float Islands, Bubble Clouds, Castle Lololo, and Mount Dedede. Unova Pokemon League is similar to Spear Pillar, in that either Reshiram or Zekrom can appear and attack the stage. Reshiram can summon flames, and Zekrom can shoot balls of electricity. Prism Tower is a short traveling stage that moves to the top of the tower and then moves back down. Mute City SNES is a... well, it's not a traveling stage, it's also not a scrolling stage. It has constant moving platforms and a dangerous road. Magicant. Can I skip this one, please? I mean, I could read from the internet, but I absolutely know nothing about it. Something with Birdman or whatever. Arena Ferox is similar to Pokemon Stadium and has, besides its standard flat stage, 4 variations. Reset Bomb Forest alternates between 2 layouts. The first one is the ruins of a tower, and the second one is called the forest, but it doesn't look like forest. Maybe it makes sense when I play the stage. Tortimer Island is a randomized stage, meaning the layout will be different every time you play it. It can also come with trees, and those trees can have many types of fruit, even beehives. There is also a shark that sometimes appears on the stage. It'll attack any fighter that falls in the water. Balloon Fight always has 2 main platforms at the bottom, separated by a river. It has 3 possible layouts that the platforms above can appear in. Each variant also has flippers and clouds. You can't swim in this water, you'll just fall through. There is also a fish that will try to drag you down. But the most interesting thing about this stage is that it doesn't have any blast zones on the left or the right. Instead, you will warp to the other side. Living Room is a pretty simple stage. It's entirely flat, until the blocks fall down. Find Me has a boss. Occasionally the Dark Emperor comes on the stage to attack the fighters. Tomodachi Life. Just like Luigi's Mansion, the inside of the building is only visible if a fighter is inside. But this time, the rule applies to each individual room. Pictochet is a small flat stage until one of 27 stage elements appear. Now we're on to the Wii U stages, starting with Mushroom Kingdom U. This stage switches between 4 different layouts whenever Kamek appears. There is the Acorn Plains, Rock Candy Mines, Marangio Clouds, or the Side Lift Tower. Nabbit also appears, trying to catch people in his sack and flying off with them. Mario Galaxy is technically a flat stage, with 2 floating platforms. I say technically, because the way the gravity works make it feel like a real planet. Mario Circuit. Similar to Port Town Area Drive, you will follow along the track on a platform, stopping at various locations, with the main hazard being the track and the razors. Skyloft, another traveling stage. This one is more similar to Delvino Plaza. stopping at various locations around the island. The Great Cave Offensive. What if there was a stage larger than the temple? Well, that would be unplayable. Enough said. Kalos Pokemon League is very similar to Pokemon Stadium 2 and Arena Ferox. Besides its flat starting ground, it has 4 variations, being the Dragon Mark Chamber, Blazing Chamber, Ironworks Chamber, and Flood Chamber. Colosseum is a relatively large stage. It starts out completely flat, but after a while, multiple platforms arise from the ground. Flat Zone X. This stage is a combination of Flat Zone 1 from Melee and Flat Zone 2 from Brawl, and it includes all areas from both stages. Palutena's Temple. What if there was a stage larger than the temple? Well, that would be unplayable. Enough said. Repeat, but it's true. Gamer. As with WarioWare, it's a pretty generic stage until the stage hazard 5-fold, weird name for a character, comes in and looks at the stage. This is represented with a yellow light. If any fighters are touching the ground when the light hits the stage, they'll receive damage and be sent flying. With a high percentage, it'll kill you. Also, similar to Tortimer Island, the platforms are randomized. Garden of Hope. There are a lot of things happening on this stage. The bridge in the middle can be broken, as well as the China Pod. The tin cans on either side act as seesaws. If one goes down, the other goes up. There are also twigs growing from the ground. They act as walls, but with enough damage, they will break. There is also a peckish Aristo Crab that occasionally appears on the stage. He will walk over the stage, damaging everyone in the way. If the bridge is broken, he can't get to the other side. Town and City. This stage is extremely similar to Smashville. It travels between the town area and the city area, with floating platforms coming in. Wii Fit Studio is a large flat stage, with the occasional platform dropping from the ceiling. The boxing ring is a pretty solid stage. There's a lot of fighting space inside the ring, and there's also some space outside. The ropes act as springs. They will launch you up to the light fixture, which can be stood upon and damaged. Damage it enough and it will fall, dimming the lights until it's replaced. Goer Plains has 2 large platforms at the top with a chasm in between, and a lot of smaller platforms underneath. Duck Hunt. It has a few stage elements. They can't really be called hazards. The actual game plays in the background, and you can hit the ducks. They can even give you items. Whenever the Duck Hunt dog rises from behind the grass with the ducks you shot, it acts as a platform. Also, there are occasionally patches of grass that act as obstructions. Wrecking Crew, a large tower filled with ladders, barrels and bombs, dropping down layer by layer. Pilot Wings, a traveling stage consisting of 2 aeroplanes. Starting on a red biplane, you eventually switch over to a yellow monoplane. And the next stage is Woohoo Island. Another traveling stage with 9 locations where it can land. Windy Hill Zone. Similar to Mario Galaxy, the gravity is warped. Don't stand too long on a windmill, it will drag you off screen. Wily's Castle, by far everybody's favorite stage. Who am I kidding? Everybody hates the Yellow Devil. Pac-Land. Similar to Mushroomy Kingdom, it's a side-scrolling stage, but what's different is that the speed is depending on the locations of the fighters. Super Mario Maker, a completely random stage that changes every single time. Susaku Castle, a pretty generic stage with a neat feature. The 2 banners can be broken with enough damage. Midgar, a Battlefield clone with a twist. If a fighter grabs the flying orb that sometimes appears on the stage, it can summon 1 out of 5 monsters, dealing damage to everyone but the summoner. Umbra Clock Tower, a Final Destination Battlefield hybrid. As the stage goes on, random platforms might come and go. And now we're on to the brand new stages in Ultimate. New Donk City Hall. Similar to Prism Tower, it's a short traveling stage, going from the bottom of the tower all the way to the top, and then back down. But what's really interesting about this stage is the music. The stage starts with an instrumental version of Jump Up Superstar. During the match, band members as well as Pauline will appear on the stage. If any fighter touches them, they will add to the music. Moray Towers is a multi-leveled stage. When a fighter runs towards the floor, they follow the bottom path. This stage has a day version and a night version. Dracula's Castle. If you thought Wily's Castle was annoying, get this. During a match on this stage, 7 different bosses can appear. Great Plateau Tower, a flat stage with a breakable ceiling. By either attacking it or bumping opponents into it, it can break. When it does, a small platform appears until it's repaired. Battlefield. Big Battlefield, a Battlefield clone with a twist. It's bigger! And finally, Final Destination! Anyway guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Woo!